Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're breaking down a high-stakes, real-world experiment designed to answer one huge question.
Something like 72% of Americans believe it's just not possible anymore. But what if it is? One self-made billionaire is so sure it's alive and well that he's betting $1 million of his own money to prove it.
So meet Glenn Stearns. This guy's story is incredible. He started with, well, less than nothing. Failed to fourth grade, became a dad at just 14, and somehow he built $1 billion company. And now he's going to try to do it all over again, from scratch.
Okay, so let's get into the rules because they are brutal. Imagine this. You're dropped in a city where you don't know a single soul. All you've got is $100, an old pickup truck, and a different name so nobody knows who you are. No contacts, no safety net, nothing. All right, so his journey kicks off in Erie, Pennsylvania. It's a city with a lot of history. And right away, his first big challenge has nothing to do with making millions. Nope, it's just about making it through the day.
I mean, it is freezing out there. And his first night, he spends it sleeping in his truck. Talk about a harsh dose of reality, right from the get-go. He realizes pretty fast that before he can even think about building a business, he has to solve for survival. So he sets this wildly ambitious goal for week 1, make enough money in just 7 days to cover all his living expenses for the entire 90-day challenge. So the clock is ticking, right? Glenn immediately starts trying to put his business smarts to work. But as he finds out pretty quick, the streets of Erie, they're a whole different ballgame than the corporate boardroom. His first idea is a classic hustle. Find some valuable scrap metal or tires and flip them. Sounds simple enough. He spends a whole day burning precious gas, searching abandoned industrial sites. And he finds absolutely nothing. What a humbling start. A total waste of time and money.
Okay, so plan B, selling dog toys in a local park. He gets out there, and it's another complete bust. Doesn't make a single sale. I mean, can you imagine? This is a guy used to closing multi-million-dollar deals, and someone literally told him, good luck with that.
So let's just, look at the numbers here for a second. After only 2 days, more than 60% of his $100 is just gone. Poof! Spent on a cheap hotel room for one night and some instant noodles. And he's made exactly $0 to show for it.
All right, so at this point, his money is almost gone, his morale is probably at an all-time low, and then, just when things look their worst, he gets a response to one of the online ads he's been putting out. A little glimmer of hope.
Yeah, so that whole street selling thing, a total bust. It really showed him that the playbook he was used to just wasn't going to cut it here. He knew he had to switch things up, and fast.
And then, finally, a breakthrough. He lands a few hours of work at a local t-shirt printing shop. After 6 hours of labor, he earns his first $60. And you know what? He later said he'd never been happier to make so little money. It wasn't about the cash, not really. It was proof that he could do it. It was about building that first tiny bit of momentum.
But honestly, the $60 wasn't even the most important part of that day. It was the connection he made. He meets AJ, the shop owner, and suddenly he has his first real ally in this city full of strangers. And AJ is a fellow entrepreneur, someone who gets the grind because he's been there himself.
But you know how life is. That little high from his first paycheck is followed almost immediately by another low. A really powerful moment of perspective when he realizes his wallet is empty. Again.
He's got no money left for food, so what does he do? He goes to a soup kitchen. But instead of getting in line, he volunteers to serve meals in exchange for a plate of his own. And suddenly, he's face to face with people in situations way more desperate than his. And this right here, this is a turning point. You can see his whole mission shift. It stops being about just winning some bet, and it becomes about something bigger. Creating something that can actually touch people's lives and maybe help them. So now, he's got this new fire in him. He's got his first real contact in town, and that's when he spots his next big opportunity, the St. Patrick's Day Parade. He partners up with AJ, the print shop owner, and they just go all in. He invests every penny he has left into some cheap green merchandise. He's out there on the street using the same sales hustle he learned as a kid selling newspapers, and it works. He sells everything. He even sells the literal shirt off his back for an extra $40. Now that's commitment.
But even after that amazing hustle, when you look at the numbers for the week, it's a pretty sobering story. He made around $400, which is great. But remember that goal of $3,300?
Yeah, he's almost $3,000 short. So, week 1 was just a brutal reality check. And he's honest about it. He admits he was overconfident, that he'd forgotten just how hard it is to climb up from the very bottom. This forces him to go back to the drawing board and completely rethink his entire 90-day plan.
And that leaves us with a really interesting question, doesn't it? After a week of tough lessons and tiny wins, it's becoming pretty clear that his success won't just depend on the money he makes. It's going to depend on the people he can inspire to believe in his vision and join the journey.